goalkeeper, and that was self-inflicted when he chose to ship Joe Hart out. His replacement, Claudio Bravo, is now injured for the rest of the season, in fact, so Willy Caballero is back between the posts. City have yet to name an unchanged team this season, and Guardiola rings the changes again. We expect Fernandinho to play on the right of a back four, the coach having abandoned his three at the back formation at half-time of the last game against Middlesbrough. David Silva wasn't expected to play today following a hamstring injury, but he is in the starting lineup in what looks like a 4-3-3 system with an attacking trio of Raheem Sterling, Gabriel Jesus and Leroy Sané. Successive defeats against Spurs and Burnley, as I mentioned, means that Palace haven't yet removed the threat of relegation, but Wayne Hennessy and his teammates could do so with the right results today. They still have a makeshift back four: Scott Dann, James Tompkins and Mamadou Sakho, all out injured, but the surprise is the inclusion of Jeff Schlupp at centre-back rather than Damien Delaney. Otherwise, it's a familiar Palace lineup. Johan Cabaye is still out of action. And of course Palace relies so heavily on one of the best attacking trios in the division: Wilfried Zaha, Christian Benteke and Andros Townsend. Navas drops down from the starting 11 to City's subs bench, likewise Delaney for Palace.
Silva's lifted it in. That is a delightful ball for Sterling. Out by Kelly and thumped in by Silva inside 2 minutes. He wasn't even meant to be playing today. Barely 100 seconds on the watch, and David Silva has scored on his return for Manchester City.
Well, I mean, there's just mistakes from Crystal Palace continuing on the break again.
Jesus taken up by Sterling. Oh, the referee's whistle had already gone, which was a pity for an apologetic Michael Oliver, who acknowledges that an advantage had indeed accrued. Guardiola's jumping up and down.
Yeah, no consolation for him that the apology has come from the referee too late.
On Fernandinho, and he's played a neat ball in for Zaha, who's gone over under challenge from Toure. Michael Oliver was very well stationed, and his view was that there was no foul.
I think he was kind of a little off balance by the time Toure touched him, Zaha.
Slipped in for Silva, and poked away rather nervously by Milivojevic.
Well, you could understand why Guardiola was desperate to get Silva back in the side because of this.
De Bruyne, flashing.
But they've got their supporters' imagination going, and that was important. The early goal.
On one again for Fernandinho. And Fernandinho had a hit. Obviously spilt it. Was firm enough to regather.
Yeah, and that...
That's delightful. Fernandinho. Jesus near post. Palace in November. Here goes Jesus. Here's Zaha. And Puncheon. Aim towards Benteke. Vital. Sterling's on his way. He's whipped away from the fullback. He set it for Jesus and Schlupp did very well. Treat. Sane's gone beyond Sterling. Couldn't keep it in. Sterling, lovely take. Silva, lovely take. David Silva. Hennessy's lost it to Jesus, who was offside. Nothing to do with the challenge on the keeper. He's got it back from Sterling. He's played it for Jesus, whose instinct was to dispatch a shot unfeasibly quickly.
And that's the feel through the game. I mean, Crystal Palace are offering...
Wriggling beyond Ward. And firing towards Hennessy, who got enough on it. Back in, puts it on. Zaha is onside here for Crystal Palace. Drives it against Kompany. Townsend can take on Clichy. And Townsend's hung up the cross. Benteke, great save. MacArthur. Puncheon high. Caballero's first moment of big business. And he came to City's rescue.
And Crystal...
Fernandinho. Jesus bundled over. It's just a goal kick.
Well, they're both appealing to the officials. Both Ward and...
Some bags of space for David Silva. Milivojevic. And Van Aanholt has lashed at it.
Well, that's quite a decent opportunity in the end. I know people will say, well, the angle was a little tight, but, you know, he went for power in the end, and he should at least be hitting the target, Van Aanholt.
Well, by the time it reached halfway, it had turned into a pretty good contest, and Pep Guardiola... De Bruyne, Kompany! Lashes it home! Left nothing to doubt, the Manchester City leader. Every last half ounce of leather on Vincent Kompany's right boot.
Oh, what a popular goal that is. And it's just second phase, and Crystal Palace don't deal with it. De Bruyne's in space. Good movement from Kompany, because he more or less said to De Bruyne, give it to me.
Which De Bruyne might aim. And does!
What a save. Oh, it's a crossbar.
Flick the top of the bar.
Yeah, I thought he got a hand to it initially. Hennessy. I mean, it's what you expect from De Bruyne, that kind of quality.
Replaced by the South Korean Lee Chung-yong, who's played and in that race for third place, which is important by comparison with... Here's De Bruyne. And here's Sané. Away by Hennessy, back in by De Bruyne. Who's got a corner.
Yeah, I mean, again, Sané's head down now because Hennessy has denied him once more. And he's just opted for power, but...
Jesus bullied it back. De Bruyne! Beauty! Piercing strike from Kevin De Bruyne. And City are eating clear. It's lovely, lovely football.
Well, Manchester City are finally delivering what probably should have come sooner in the game. And as this is flicked on, I mean, it looks level.
And he's clear of Fernandinho, and he's clear of Kompany, but he's not clear of Otamendi, whom he has...
A-grade locksmith.
Was made before this two brief substitute appearances. Flamini, deflection, and Caballero palms it over.
Well, we haven't seen that kind of work from Crystal Palace much today. The
Fernandinho.
Yeah, he's still fuming over the decision not going his way about, what, 5-6 minutes ago?
He needs to calm down, doesn't he?
He does.
Zabaleta's won a header. Stunning! Crunching finish. Manchester City are worth 4 here. They've been good, very, very good. And that's a cracking goal.
They are worth 4 because they've...
In by De Bruyne, oh, what a header! He's worth that, Otamendi. He's really worth it. Manchester City's 5th of a wholehearted, fervent display. They have been belting Blues today.
Yeah, well, he has shown that
this can't be champions this season, but based on that sort of evidence, you have to wonder why, because they were splendid. Simply a joy to behold from the first 2 minutes to the last minute of stoppage time. Silva, Kompany, De Bruyne, Sterling, and the other centre-half, Otamendi.
And that was self-inflicted when he chose to ship Joe Hart out. His replacement Claudio Bravo is now injured for the rest of the season, in fact, so Willy Caballero is back between the posts. City have yet to name an unchanged team this season, and Guardiola rings the changes again. We expect Fernandinho to play on the right of a back 4, the coach having abandoned his 3 at the back formation at half-time of the last game against Middlesbrough. David Silva wasn't expected to play today following a hamstring injury, but he is in the starting lineup in what looks like a 4-3-3 system with an attacking trio of Raheem Sterling, Gabriel Jesus and Leroy Sané. Successive defeats against Spurs and Burnley, as I mentioned, means that Palace haven't yet removed the threat of relegation, but Wayne Hennessy and his teammates could do so with the right results today. They still have a makeshift back four: Scott Dan, James Tompkins and Mamadou Sakho, all out injured, but the surprise is the inclusion of Jeff Schlupp at centre-back rather than Damien Delaney. Otherwise, it's a familiar Palace lineup. Johan Cabaye is still out.